Hey, welcome to Here's Eight. I'm Paul.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're going to be talking about our favourite non-Christmas, but at Christmas, it's very confusing, movies.
Stick around and find out what that meant. That's right. Christmas movies that are not Christmas movies. So movies you see at Christmas that aren't about Christmas. That's what we're doing tonight. And if you like it, you can give us a like and a subscribe. But if you really, really love it, you can come back on a Tuesday or a Thursday because we do videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays are a little bit shorter. They're trivia and rapid reviews. Thursdays are a little more long form and weird, such as this, which I have to say, we could have done the traditional Christmas video.
Yeah, we could have.
And we could have said that the best Christmas movies of all time are basically Elf, Scrooged, and then probably Miracle on 34th Street in that order.
Like, I like the old Santa Claus, the one like from the 1950s.
Yeah,
like,
that's
one.
good too.
If check that out, guys, it's actually really, really nice.
Also, Scrooged is underrated, so as a Christmas movie. And Elf is the best Christmas movie ever, Elf.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And also Shazam.
Yeah.
It's set at Christmas, lads. Why didn't you just put it at Christmas?
Yeah, although just so that we're on the internet, so Die Hard and Gremlins. So fight amongst yourselves. Yes, they're Christmas movies. I'll pick a side on that.
I will. Yeah, Die Hard. It's set during Christmas. It's the whole reason that they're in the Nakatomi Plaza. Like, you know,
there's a Christmas tree.
Like, there's a Christmas tree. He consistently makes references to Santa Claus, like ho ho ho, I have a machine gun now.
Yeah, that joke wouldn't have worked at Easter.
No, it wouldn't have worked at New Year's. It wouldn't have worked on my birthday. Like, I don't understand.
Your birthday would be very different if I ever get to write that note. That's a good birthday. So now that we've discussed what we're not including, what are we including? For every generation, this will be different. We should get that out there. For every generation, it will be different, and for every country, it will be different. Mm-hmm. If you're in a country that doesn't necessarily show these movies at Christmas, you'll still be able to identify because you're going to have movies like this.
Yeah, they're just nice movies that just you can tell definitely that usually they're going to be like probably cheaper to own and put into the library for a while, so they just roll them out at Christmas because they're just like, you know what people are doing right now? They're sitting on their fat asses after this Christmas dinner and they don't want to move and they want to watch a good movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they want to watch a good like family movie, but that will cover enough bases. So you'll notice a common thread through a lot of these that all ages can get something from most of the movies.
Yeah.
So there you go. I know the next generation that comes along is going to go, what are you talking about? Because we don't actually watch movies that are now broadcast. We pick stuff on demand. So this will mean nothing. This video will mean nothing to the future. This is not a time capsule. Actually, maybe it is. You'll look back and go, what were they at? But I want to throw it over to you to give the first example. So what is your choice as a Christmas movie that you would watch at Christmas that isn't about Christmas?
So the first Christmas movie that isn't about Christmas that I watch is generally Back to the Future Part 3.
Specifically Part 3.
Specifically Part 3. It is obviously the cheaper of the three movies to be licensed, but it's always on. Like, it's only in recent years the other two are generally on the day before. Like, one will be 3 days before Christmas, 2 days.
That is a good point. It is a good pull because I have seen that here in Ireland, that a few different stations, particularly RTE, and that's where I think you're coming from, our national broadcaster might be being a little cheap, pulling it from the archive going, well, the price per play on this one's low.
Yep.
First one, a lot higher. Which one are we going to put on? Throw on the Wild West Back to the Future.
Yeah, the reason is it's a self-contained movie. It's a self-contained story mostly. So we all know Back to the Future, like the concepts and all that stuff. So when they essentially just go, yeah, we're not connecting any of these. We're just, the only string is that Doc is back there. Spoilers. You know.
I think at this stage you can't spoil Back to the Future. Particularly you can't spoil Back to the Future Part 3. Because if anybody's seen any parts of the others, it's I would have picked that. I didn't pick that because I'm going to pick one of the other perennial classics. And I'm going to say the entire Indiana Jones franchise because it works generationally. For me, it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Mm-hmm. And then for my wife, who's a little bit younger than me, I had this conversation with her. I was like, pick a Christmas movie. And she went, oh yeah, Temple of Doom. And I'm like, haha. The other Indiana Jones movie that they started showing a little bit later. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure for like my nephew or something, or somebody who's younger than me in the right age would be like, it's We could
Crystal Skull.
No,
Oh,
no,
thank
no, no.
God.
I was like, do you hate the third movie?
No,
Oh, that's all
I
right.
hate the non-existent fourth movie.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, I don't know that. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen it. So the entire Indiana Jones franchise, and not only does it age people, or not age them, but not only was there a lovely generational thing to that. For me, I was a kid. Well, a kid. I was young enough watching Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was one of the few times in any year my family did not sit around and watch movies together. It wasn't that kind of household. But at Christmas, it covered all the boxes.
Yeah.
My sisters, my brother, my father, my mother, everybody could watch Indiana Jones. They could watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. It had enough adventure for the older people in the room. It had enough kind of, nice stuff. There was like dark Nazi stuff, which made me scared and made other people in the room interested. It was a great all-round family film. So it is the quintessential, nothing to do with Christmas, but every time I see it, I think of Christmas.
No, that's pretty nice.
There you go. It's my ultimate on that.
Yeah.
And what else did you stick on your list?
I stuck on Harry Potter and the Prisoners of Azkaban. Once again, not the first one, not the second, but the third movie.
I'm noticing a trend, yeah, because I was working out where that came in the sequence. It's the third one.
It's the third one, yeah.
It's the best one.
It's also one of the better ones. Like it's out of Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, and then Prisoner of Azkaban. Prisoner of Azkaban is great.
There you go.
You know, like I don't know what it is, but it's a great film. I do know that before someone starts shouting at me that it does include a Christmas scene, but once again, it is not about Christmas.
Oh, you're flying close to the sun. It includes a Christmas scene. Hang on, I'll check. Judges? There are no... It's great that I just shouted judges and then something fell over somewhere else. I think we killed the judges. So you get a pass.
Cool.
We killed the judges.
I poisoned them.
Yeah.
It's got Christmas in it, but it's not a Christmas movie. Like we're talking about, like Christmas movies would be a Muppets Christmas Carol, or a Christmas Carol, or
Elf.
Elf. You know, the ones that we've already mentioned. We could include No, we couldn't include Die Hard.
No.
We've already said that it's a Die Hard. It's a Christmas film.
I will allow the Christmas scene in the absence of the now defunct judges table that obviously fell over when I looked at them. I think a Christmas scene is acceptable because I would never have included Harry Potter in any sort of Christmas list. Prisoner of Azkaban as a Christmas movie, so you're safe. Was it just on a lot around Christmas?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it is just one of those, like, it is one of the favourites out of the Harry Potter series, and it's also not dark enough yet to, like, scare the shit out of little kids, so that they just slam it on.
It's at the right point on that trajectory where they went from young to old, and it's the sweet spot where 8-year-old and 18-year-old can both watch it.
Yeah. Like,
Nice.
it's still slightly scary, but it's still Harry Potter, so it's fine. And it's not like the Deathly Hallows, which is like, oh yeah, by the way, death actually exists.
Yeah, well, the Nazis melt at the end of that? No, and I was too young to watch Nazis melt every Christmas, but I did. Thank you, Indiana Jones. That's a good poll, actually. It's a good call. I hadn't really thought of any of the big kind of Harry Potter type franchises because they are on around Christmas. I'll go for my last choice, which is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka, whatever you would call it at home yourself. But I'm talking the original Gene Wilder, not the other thing.
A Johnny Depp one.
Johnny Depp.
Ginny Depp.
No, it's a fantastic classic, but it tends to be shown here, or at least for most of my childhood, at any holiday.
Yeah.
So it was on around Christmas. It was on, I think they probably even put it on around St. Patrick's Day. It was one of those ones that was on at Easter, Christmas. It was always when you were off school or you were at a family thing, some point in the day, some channel showed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I just associate it because of that.
Yeah, I know, I definitely get it.
And it's also a fantastic film because it's mental as all balls. People forget that this thing is nuts. Gene Wilder is amazing. We all agree on that. We could do a whole video on this thing. But let me just say, if you haven't watched it for a while, the tunnel scene where they're travelling into the factory with like big raven eyes, and hopefully we'll have a small clip of it here.
The rowers keep on rowing, so their danger must be closing.
Yes.
It's a very freaky movie.
Oh, it's crazy for Cocoa Pops. It's nuts. I love it.
Okay.
What else have you got another one?
What do you get when you follow my lead? Not a great segue to Star Trek. Into Darkness. Star Trek Into Darkness.
If I'd known that was it, I was going to be really impressed by your rhyming song.
Oh, it would have been real
What do
good.
you get when you think it is con? You will be wrong.
Well, I guess
tried.
you would be right, but it's David or it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, and Into Darkness was the second of the J.J. Abrams.
And which is the interesting one because it's like
Abrams.
it's only recently, like in the last, like probably since it came out, probably that it's now becoming one of those ones. Like every time I see it, anytime I watch TV around Christmas time, I can bet you that Star Trek Into Darkness is probably on at some point.
Yeah,
Like during probably from the I'm gonna say the 18th of December to probably about the 27th, 28th. Star Trek Into Darkness will probably be on.
and I might watch it this year if it's on, because it's one of those films that I never hated, never loved, but I think I'm softening on it over time. Like I'm looking forward to seeing it again because I think it's going to be better than I remember. Whereas the same thing can't be said for the follow-up, which is
Star Trek Beyond.
Thank you. Yeah, that I think I'll probably like even less the next time I see it because I still have a bit of a it didn't work for me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Into Darkness again. Hope it is on.
It is Star Trek Beyond. Am I thinking of the
No,
TV
you're right.
show?
No, that's Discovery.
Discovery.
Yeah, mentally I have that happen too. I'm like, Beyond is the it's Discovery.
It's getting so close to everything. So
that's good. Another good call actually. Yeah. So you know what? I think. Are you happy to head into some honorable mentions? Because you alluded to something earlier on, and I almost put the Muppets on this list. And I was going to say Muppets movies in general I associate with Christmas, except people will always think I'm talking about Muppets Christmas Carol, and I haven't. I'm talking about the other Muppets movies.
Oh yeah,
because they used to show them early in the morning when you were off around Christmas, so you'd see all the different Muppet movies.
Yeah,
they were great.
You get like Christmas, like what is it? Treasure Island, Muppet Treasure Island,
and Muppets Take Manhattan, all the rest of that. If you don't like the Muppets, by the way, go find people, seek help. The Muppets are great. I've been around enough adults now. They're like, oh, Muppets, like, ugh, it's so trendy to like them. No, the Muppets were great then when we were little. Yeah. Muppets were great when we were medium. Muppets are going to be great when we're just about to die. Muppets are always great.
I do enjoy in Muppets Treasure Island the Cabin Fever song.
Oh gosh,
they haven't had wind for a while, so they're all like sitting there and they're just like, I have cabin fever, and then a guy gets up and he has a weird Scottish voice or a Scottish accent, but he's like, that guy's not Scottish, but he's like, I got it too, and then they start singing the whole Cabin Fever song, which is great. If you haven't watched Muppet Treasure Island, what are you doing?
If there is a YouTube link to that song, you will find it in the description down below, because we will do a search and stick it in. Another honourable mention for me is in the same vein, James Bond. There was always a Bond film on around Christmas, and back when I was a kid there was like 10 of them or 12 of them. Now there are 24 of them probably. Well, actually maybe there wouldn't have been 10 of them, there would have been 15 of them. Now there's like 24. There's a lot of Bond films. I'm assuming there'll be another Bond film on around Christmas.
Yeah,
I kind of like I won't seek out a Bond film.
It'll be probably Skyfall as well.
It probably will be, or maybe Spectre. It'll be one of the new ones. I love an old Bond film to just sit there and go, I couldn't be bothered picking something. It's a real Christmas moment of, there's a Bond on, I'm full and I'm tired. I don't need to think about what I want to watch right now.
I think that's the crux of it. I think you slammed it right in the head. The reason that these movies have been chosen as well is they're not Poirot.
No.
They're not ones where it's just like, they're not Inception or, the Adjustment Bureau or any of those. They're not like, here's a heavy thinking one. It's more just like, here's a story. Yeah,
enjoy this. Yeah, and that's why, I guess that's why Bond and Muppets got the honourable mentions for me. Anything else you want to throw in before we let these lovely people go on and have their Christmas turkey?
It's probably Star Wars. I know Star Wars comes out around December, and I know the reason is for toys and stuff like that. But it's not the new ones. It's actually episode. I need to figure out the
episode
timing.
4.
It's like episode 5 and 6 tend to come out.
So it's like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, those ones come out a lot more. Like, once again, it's probably turned into New Hope and then Empire Strikes Back and then the Return of the Jedi.
I think Jedi was on an awful lot because the Ewoks made it seem
fun.
Very family friendly too. Yeah. Plus the fact, I shouldn't say this into a recording device. When I was a kid, I didn't hate the Ewoks. And when I grew up and I was supposed to hate the Ewoks, I was like, they were just in it. They were always in it for me. It's like, I can't go, oh, and then the Ewoks came along and ruined it. I was a kid when I first saw Return of the Jedi. I was like, I preferred Empire. I thought it was a better film. But I wasn't going, God, the teddy bears have ruined it. I was like, Chewie in a forest with smaller Chewies. It was grand.
The Ewoks are the most strategically advanced army in the entire Star Wars series, in the entire Star Wars original trilogy.
We should be ending this video right now, but I'm going to ask him to continue.
First of all, there's the only ever assault that happens, apart from the Ewok ones, are frontal assaults.
Okay.
They go straight for the Death Star in the first one.
Gotcha.
When they're attacking Hoth, they're literally just walking very slowly towards them, frontal assault.
Yeah.
And then once again, when they attack the second Death Star, they're also just doing a frontal assault.
Yeah.
And they're going against a superior force.
Yes.
When the Ewoks are going up for a superior force, they use guerrilla tactics.
Well, that's true. That's true. I hate to say this is all true. I feel like there could be another video coming out about this where he'll be talking and I'll be making this face.
We suddenly realised that stormtroopers in the rebellion at that point were like just shitty.
I'll full on South Park and I'll be like, if the Ewoks live on Endor, you must have quit. I will just be, oh my God, you'll see the numbers flashing, and in the background will be like an Ewok, a Wookiee, an ATST, and just twine, red strings pulling it all together. I see it now. Now I see what the film was really about.
Like, before anyone goes, just to say, in the third film, I do know that the rebels arrive at the Death Star, and then the Star Destroyer fleet suddenly appears as well, like an ambush. But it is, let me just tell you, it is the one lesson that the Empire learns.
I can tell he's thought a lot about this. This is not the video we intended on making right now, so I'm pulling us back around to what we should have been on, which is saying goodbye and good luck. And on that note, I've been Patrick.
And I've been Paul.
And you're going to let us know what Christmas movies you think you would have watched a lot at Christmas. Comments down below. So like, share, subscribe. And what have we been?
We've been Hear Us Out.
Ho, 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 hear us out.
Happy Christmas.
Bye-bye. Happy holidays.